I'm here in Milan, Italy for the Byton's European unveiling. If you remember, I reported from CES in Las Vegas in January for their world premiere, but today they're doing it just for the European market, and it is not at an auto show or like a separate automobile event. It's actually part of the design week here in Milan, and I love the concept. The fact that, you know, the new way of thinking is that your car is no longer just the automobile. It is actually a part of your lifestyle, and they're designing your lifestyle. And I love the fact that this is happening here at Milan's Design Week. It just gives it kind of a refreshing look and a refreshing concept of what this really is. As you know, Byton is trying to make sure that you don't really almost feel any different as you move toward, you know, inside your car and then outside of your car, from your office, from your work or whatever. The communication in your world is kind of, you take it with you. And I really like that concept because that's what really cars are becoming nowadays, and electric cars, because they're so technologically advanced, is really leading the way. And as you know, Byton stands for Bytes on Wheels, and therefore this is kind of highlighting the fact that it is a technology that's driving this whole thing rather than the mechanics or the engine and so forth. So this is my third time seeing the prototype. This is a white one. Last time I was with the gray one, and you know, once again I'm just kind of fall in love with it over and over again. The technology is amazing. As you can see, the entire dashboard is a touch screen, and it's not just a touch screen. It's actually somewhere where you can use gestures, right? And you can point your finger to the screen. You will see where it's pointing, almost like with a computer game, with a Wii Station, if you will, right? And Wii console or whatever you want to call it. Not a really game, as you probably know. But anyway, you can see where you're pointing, and then you can create gestures like OK, like for a click and so forth. And that way you navigate the screen as you're driving. That kind of alleviates any issues with voice commands. Even though they have the voice commands as well, they're integrated with Alexa, which is pretty cool. But it also, as you know, for those of you guys who have touch screens, and especially in Tesla, it's really hard to sometimes click in the right part when the car maybe hits a bump, or just overall as the ride is bumpy. It's hard to hit that particular button. Sometimes you hit the wrong button. This way, with gesture controls, it's much easier. And generally, gesture controls is something that's seems to be a future, and I love the fact that Byton is consistently trying to innovate. You know, Tesla innovated 5-6 years ago, and a lot of times it was just absolutely mind-blowing. But now, as they're becoming a bigger and bigger manufacturer, Tesla is kind of settling down. They're not innovating as much, and companies like Byton coming into the market, and they have to innovate, obviously, in order to make a name for themselves. And these guys, I think, have done one of the better jobs out there than other companies, because they're starting from scratch. They have the financing, and they kind of use the experience of Tesla and Nissan and other manufacturers to, you know, understand what worked and what didn't work, and therefore create a better experience. So I really like this brand, and I really like what they're doing, and this has been just an amazing journey. They're located, their United States headquarters are located in Santa Clara. They are a Chinese-based company, and they also have offices in Germany. So kind of there are 3 locations where sort of the hotspots for electric cars, they have it all covered. Their factory is going to be in China, and that's where they're going to start the production next year. And after that, they're going to you know, hit the Chinese market first, and then they're going to expand into United States and Europe. I'm really looking forward to it. This car is supposed to start at 45,000 American dollars, so pretty affordable. They're going to have different sizes of batteries and different options, obviously. I like the way this car looks. It's an SUV. It's a good-looking SUV, which you're looking at as an alpha prototype. So I'm sure some things will change, but they also, you know, they're also going to probably almost match the timing of Model Y coming out in the United States, so it will be very interesting. But then the Jaguar I-Pace and Audi e-tron are probably already going to create some waves, and a lot of people will probably going to start thinking about getting themselves an electric SUV. So the timing for the release of this particular car may just be perfect for Byton. You know, just like I can't rave enough about the technology that they have. When you approach the car, it has a facial recognition, sort of kind of like a iPhone X, which I think is the future. And they also have the recognition of your face inside of the car, so they can figure out which one is the driver, which one is the passenger. And as you can probably tell, this experience is not just for the driver. They want to make sure that people who are in the passenger seat who in the back of the car have their own unique experience with the technology inside of this car. So it's not just all about the driver, it's about everybody who is in the car, and technology really extends to everybody in there. And it's another great concept that I really like, because as we look to the future, as we look at the future of driverless cars, everybody in the car is going to be kind of equal, right? There won't be like driver and passengers. Everyone's going to be pretty much a passenger. So creating an experience that's equal for everybody is very important. Of course, the challenges are, what are you going to do with when two people want to use their cell phone, or two different people want to watch a different movie or listen to different songs. So these are all the challenges they're addressing now, looking forward in the future. Now, this is a media day, so there's a lot of coverage, as you can see behind me, a lot of people taking pictures, and this is even before the actual opening, right? I talked to their CEO. I mean, their team is great. I talked to their CEO earlier today. That's a separate video, and he, of course, gave me a lot of insights and just a general view and general vision of Byton as they move forward, as they come into the market next year. You can watch that on my channel, of course. It's going to be part of my interview series. So let's talk about your customers. Who are you targeting as your customers? Is this people who are already driving an electric car, or these are the people where Byton is going to be their very first electric car, and right now they're driving a gas car?
It's definitely both, but we are not only heading for the segment of electric cars, but we really are heading for the segment of premium cars today. So our competitors is BMW, Mercedes, Audi, and Jaguar, all the premium brands of today.
Just talking around the room with different people, people are impressed and they're excited. The team is excited, and people who are covering this car is also very excited. As I covered this their unveiling at CES, I have to say, as I watched the reaction of people, definitely Byton has probably brought one of the more exciting reactions from what I could observe. Now, I also met a lot of other journalists and YouTubers. One of them is Sophia, who has her own channel, and she does videos about sports cars, right? As gas sports cars, as a gas, she has a bunch of them herself. She just got an Audi R8, which is a beautiful, gorgeous car that's parked in front of our hotel where the media is all gathered, because they drove here from Germany. And I had a chance to talk to her and pick her brain about what would it take for people who love gas cars to actually, kind of come to the dark side and consider an electric car. And she had some interesting insights, so here's what she had to say. You're here at the electric car unveiling. What made you decide to be here, and what do you think about us crazy people with electric cars?
So I was invited from Byton, and I checked the homepage and I saw the car, and I was like, okay, that's something different, it's something new. I think it fits in the future life, and everything in the future goes to electric, I think, and yeah.
Now, you're from Germany, and you guys are a little bit slow to adopt the electric car movement,
right.
Understandably so. You have a lot of gas-powered car manufacturers.
And diesel.
And diesel, yes, we've heard. But what do you think? What do you think has to change in order for these type of cars to appeal to you and people who drive gas car?
So I think so in Germany we need way more stations, supercharging stations, and we need more opportunities to drive this car, because it's very expensive. And the most of people don't have time to charge their car in a half hour or 1 hour. I don't know how long it takes.
45 minutes.
Okay, so I think usually you don't have the time always when you drive long distance. It's okay for the city, but for the long distance it's very difficult.
If you want to follow her on YouTube, she has her own YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. The URL to that is in the description of this video, so definitely check it out, subscribe, and I hope to have her on maybe next time we see each other at an event like that, and see maybe this whole thing is growing on her. But it's interesting that her and her crew and some of the other journalists that cover gas cars are here today covering the electric car that is Byton. So I'm really hoping that this is going to happen more and more, and just like I said, I can't be more excited. Let me know if you have any other questions, guys. I'm sure I'm going to cover this brand probably in another couple of weeks they're going to be at Beijing Auto Show. I'm still trying to see if I'm going to be able to make it. So if you have any other questions, I know a lot of you asked specific spec questions. I just don't have any answers for you guys just yet. As they unveil more and more, they're going to unveil that for us, and of course I'll tell you as soon as I know. But right now, don't forget, they're still a couple of years away from production, and this is just an alpha prototype. But do ask me questions. I'll try to answer them, and I definitely am going to stay on top of this. This is one of the cars that I'm also considering, along with Jaguar I-Pace, so I'm definitely slowly falling in love with it. I fully admit it. But let's see what they do. They obviously still need to get their production going, and there are quite a few challenges ahead, but what they've accomplished so far is definitely impressive. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I definitely had a great time here in Milan, Italy. I hope to come back someday soon. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.